Right Honorable Speaker, rhinos were once widespread in Uganda, but poaching and habitat loss drove them to extinction in the 1980s. Since 2006, the breeding program at Ziwara has seen 40 southern white rhinos born from an initial founder population of 6. And Right Honorable, I want to thank the NRM government, through His Excellency, the President, for bringing stability that has seen these numbers grow to the numbers we are speaking to today. The aim of the Rhino Naming Initiative is to support ongoing breeding, reintroduction of rhinos into the wild, starting with Ajai Wildlife Reserve, and strengthen anti-poaching measures with the focus of habitat protection and community involvement. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the translocation of rhinos to Ajai Wildlife Reserve will connect the West Nile region to the tourism circuit, extend the rhinos range, and bring opportunities to communities through tourism. The first ever rhino naming ceremony is a proud moment for Uganda and a powerful symbol of our commitment to conservation. Rhinos are not only part of our natural heritage, they are an asset that can drive tourism, jobs, and sustainable growth for our communities. This year we take the next bold step by introducing rhinos into Ajai Wildlife Reserve. We call on every Ugandan citizen, and I want to thank you, Right Honorable, for taking lead, company, and partner to be part of this legacy. When you name a rhino, you're not just giving it an identity, you are securing its future and the future of conservation in Uganda. The naming ceremony, slated for 22nd, will bring together various stakeholders and mark the beginning of the translocation process. This is more than a naming ceremony, it is a platform to showcase Uganda's commitment to sustainable tourism. Our natural heritage is our competitive advantage, and protecting it ensures that visitors continue to choose Uganda for authentic wildlife experiences. Right Honorable, as I conclude, under the National Rhino Conservation and Management Strategy for Uganda 2018-2028, the country aims to achieve an annual rhino population growth rate of at least 5%. This will be driven by strengthened security, protection, and law enforcement, reintroduction and establishment of new population, building national capacity for effective management, and promoting education and awareness of the value of rhino conservation. Uganda Wildlife Authority has put in place a rhino translocation committee to ensure the rhinos are delivered to Ajai before the end of this year. Protecting rhinos is not just about preserving a species, it's about securing our ecosystem, supporting tourism, and creating long-term benefits for local communities, individuals, companies, philanthropists, and global conservation supporters are invited to join the Name a Rhino campaign and help to directly fund rhino protection, habitat expansion, and community benefit projects. Through you, Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to invite all members of Parliament and staff of Parliament to join us at the Name a Rhino campaign on 22nd September 2025 in Nakasongola, but also Name a Rhino. And we've shared the different categories in which each individual member can participate. Thank you, Right Honorable. Right Honorable, you raised a couple of issues. I just requesting for your guidance. The next statement is almost similar to what I'm reading. I would request that maybe I can also just tackle it so that I can respond some of the statements and then
please go ahead.
Thank you, Right Honorable.
Next.
Item 3.2, statement by Minister on World Tourism Day celebrations, 27th September 2025 in Arua City.
Thank you, Right Honorable. This is about the World Tourism Day that we'll be holding this month. Right Honorable Speaker, Uganda is a founding member of the United Nations World Tourism Organization and participates in the celebrations for the World Tourism Day held annually on 27th September. The UNWTO General Assembly instituted the celebration of the World Tourism Day commencing in the year 1980. This date was chosen to coincide with an important milestone in world tourism, the anniversary of the adoptions of the UNWTO statutes on 27th of September 1970. And Uganda will join the rest of the world celebrate this on the 27th of September in Arua City under the theme Tourism and Sustainable Transformation. The national event highlights West Nile region's tourism potential and aims to drive socio-economic transformation through sustainable community-driven tourism initiatives. The celebrations will align with the global theme of tourism and sustainable transformation. The event underscores Uganda's commitment to using tourism as a tool of social and economic development. This theme also reminds us that tourism is more than leisure and travel. It is a driver of a long-term change, creating livelihoods, safeguarding cultural heritage, protecting biodiversity, and promoting inclusive growth, hence ensuring that tourism benefits both present and future generations while aligning with global development goals. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, countries all over the world, and Uganda in particular, are increasingly prioritizing tourism as a key part of the national development agenda, and I want to thank government and this parliament, Right Honorable, for the support they've given to this sector through your leadership. And as a driver of economic growth and inclusive development, creating jobs and well-being for communities, the tourism sector contributes around 5.7% to GDP and employs around 7.2% directly of the total employment as per statistics of 2024 in this country. It is therefore fitting that this year's National World Tourism Day celebrations will take place in Arua in the West Nile region. Arua is a gateway to both domestic and cross-border tourism with its rich cultural heritage, diverse ethnic groups, and untapped tourism potential. By bringing the celebrations to Arua, we want to showcase the tourism opportunities of West Nile region and integrate the region more strongly into the National Tourism Development Agenda. Right Honorable, as we count down to 27th September, the Ministry, together with its agencies and partners, has lined up a series of activities across the country. And they are there. Members can go through. On the 2nd, there was a launch. On the 11th of September, there will be a tourism fraternity, which will be held, the Youth Tourism Conference and Quiz at Arua Core PTC. On Thursday, 18th September, there will be a thematic conference in Kampala, a Rhino naming ceremony on the 22nd of September, and on Wednesday, 24th to Thursday, 25th of September, West Nile students will engage in a competition and cultural dances. Poetry and tourism fraternity will participate in sports and cycling and various other activities at Arua Public School. Then from the 25th to the 27th, there will be an open day park-free access to all national parks for East African citizens. And I want to encourage members of parliament, please, you can mobilize a couple of your voters to access for these 2 days at no cost. Friday, 26 September 2025, Arua City will host a regional tourism forum at La Confidential Hotel in Arua City, and we've invited all members of parliament, both in writing, and I want to see Ryoko the same. Please mobilize people, come and we interact, share ideas, and see how we grow this region in this conference on the 26th. Saturday, 27th, 2025, the main event of the World Tourism Day will be held at Arua City Golf Course. Then we'll have an Explore West Nile campaign from the 28th to the 29th of September, where we'll have a couple of influencers, celebrities, and various Ugandans shine a light to showcase what this area has to offer. In conclusion, this year's focus on West Nile with Arua City as a host is a demonstration of our commitment to inclusive and regionally balanced tourism development across the West Nile. The promise of tourism is tangible. The region is blessed with unique cultural traditions, vibrant festivals, diverse cuisines, and landscapes of extraordinary beauty. Through you, Right Honorable, I still wish to invite all members of parliament and staff to join us as we celebrate the World Tourism Day. Right Honorable Speaker, you raised a couple of pertinent issues, especially to do with the human-wildlife conflict. I wish to inform this parliament that we are constructing an electric fence in Queen Elizabeth and Maxon Falls, and we intend to add an additional 100 kilometers around the Maxon Falls, and we've done districts of Noya, Oyam, we are currently doing Bulisa, Kiriandongo, Masindi. And in Kasese, we have done Kasese, Kitagwenda, Kanungu, Rubirizi, and we are currently doing Rukonjiri, and we intend to add another 50 kilometers. One of the areas that has been the biggest hotspot, Right Honorable, is the Karenga or the Kidepo Valley Community Wildlife Area. And through a directive from His Excellency the President, but also with support of this Parliament, we are going to start by doing 128 kilometers of the Karenga, thus Karamoja, Kituguma, and the districts around. And we believe that in the next 3-4 years, we should be able to have finished fencing all these protected areas. But Right Honorable, the challenge really has been because of the too much demand and pressure we have put as a population on most of these areas. Most of the elephant corridors have been occupied by communities, and these animals do not forget where they used to go and graze from, even as babies. So they usually tend to trace where probably their parents and so it's something that they have in their memory. But the only solution is really to have them confined. And it is something we are dealing with, plus other interventions to do with compensation and the rest. Your Excellency, the roads, especially in Ajai, that were raised by sorry, Right Honorable Speaker. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Right Honorable Speaker, the issues of the infrastructure, and I want to thank government. In most of the protected areas, there is some good access. And I want to assure the people around Ajai that with the reintroduction of the rhinos, definitely you will see an improvement in infrastructure. Not only by government, but even by the private sector. And that's why it's important that we have this circuit completed, and Ajai is included in the tourism circuit within the country. With those few remarks, I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for your support in the reintroduction of rhinos and your continued support as Parliament to the tourism sector and the support this country has given, because where there is no peace, there is no tourism. And I always tell my brother Senyonyi here that the only way we can sell this country is speaking good about it and selling the good. And Honorable Senyonyi, I want to invite you and the entire team on a 1-week tour around the country so that you share, and the entire Parliament. But you have a free invitation so that, on our budget, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. They are obvious. Honorable members, I want to thank the Minister for the report. And what the Honorable Minister says, it is out of the peace and security we have in this country that the animals are able to live. Originally, this animal in 1980, all the animals were killed. The poachers finished them. But because of the peace and security that has been put by the president in this country, these animals are able to live. Because the peace is on the people, but also on the animals, and they are able to multiply. So you must really thank the president for the peace. I am not hearing your hand claps. Honorable Senyonyi, I have not yet picked you. You speak last. A big drum speaks last. Acrobat. And this information is for the paper is for information. You shouldn't really spend time to debate. If you want, you go and attend the function. Function is there, you're all invited, please go and attend it. Yes, and in the opening remarks, we had already discussed about this. So this report is for informative, and it is going to be in the library. If you want any information, Honorable Martin is not far away.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity.
There is a motion.
Motion for what, Madam Speaker, when you have picked me?
Right Honourable Speaker, I had issues with the minister addressing an individual, our LOP. Procedurally, let Honourable Speaker, I would have sought your indulgence that the minister addresses us so that you protect our LOP. But Honourable Speaker, in light of the fact that this is a self-explanatory statement, I beg to move that the statement be adopted and we go to other business. There is a loan for Bugiri coming up. I beg to move, Right Honourable Speaker, that we adopt this document.
Seconded? Seconded by Obua. Bua, you're seconding? Anyway, Acrobat, you're seconding?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members.
I want to second.
Honorable members. Honorable members, I am only going to allow 3 people to speak. This is a straightforward document. We spoke about it when in my communication. There is nothing more to talk about. And if you want, go and attend the function. I will have Acrobat, I will have Emily, I will have Dr. Yume.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. Madam Speaker, I want to appreciate the Honorable Minister for the straightforward report and statement regarding the World Tourism Day. However, Madam Speaker, as we plan to celebrate this day, I would like to implore the Honorable Minister to ensure that people still have issues of human animal traffic issues, like in my area, Bundibujo. Animals have been a problem. They have destroyed people's property, crops, and they have never been compensated. So as we celebrate this day, Honorable Minister, I call upon you to ensure that the people on record for being compensated do be compensated. I thank you.
It is human-wildlife conflict. That is what it is. That is the term that is used. So you should be, and the Honorable Minister had already talked about it. We talked about it, the fencing. We provided some money for the fencing of these game parks and the reserves. And maybe, Honorable, what you should look at is the compensation. You should consider it. Emily?
Yeah, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I would like to thank the Minister for the 2 statements. And I also want to thank government and all those that have been involved in the preservation and the conservation of the rhino, the white rhino, to be specific. But there is also the black rhino that was here in Uganda. The last reported black rhino was in 1983, and that was in Kidepo Game Reserve. What is government doing about that? Now that we have made strides on this, I think it is important that we also don't forget about this very important animal that probably could also enhance our tourism. And the other point I wanted to make, Madam Speaker and honorable colleagues, is in respect to the human-wildlife conflict. What has been emphasized more are the big animals, the elephants and all that. But when you get back to our communities, you will see many households affected and disturbed by vermins. And these are baboons, and you'll see monkeys roaming, and actually if you are there, a woman is preparing food, a monkey is coming up to grab, because the habitat for the monkeys and all these animals has been disturbed. I think we need to get a way how we actually support this. And now that we are talking about PDM, I have a county called Kebando in Buyanja East in Kibale district. The biggest problem they have today are vermins, and these are the animals, Minister, under your docket, and you need to get a solution to ensure that our animals, your animals actually in this respect, if I have to consider your ministry, do not disturb our farmers our farmers are protected. Otherwise, they will lose out and it will be a net loss. I thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Yume.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I'll address the Minister's presentation to three things. The first one is marketing. We are not, as government, giving a lot to marketing our tourism in this country. And it's only when people know about our country and our potential that we'll be able to attract them. The second one, Right Honorable Speaker, I am happy about the white rhinos. And like previous speakers have spoken, that Ajai Game Reserve is the home of the white rhino. So I would really want to see Ministry of Tourism expedite the resettlement of white rhinos in Ajai. Finally, Right Honorable Speaker, when it comes to tourism, one area that is novel is medical tourism. And I think Uganda in the next couple of years should be ready to pitch high in terms of medical tourism. Our geopolitical positioning as a country, the capacity we have built as a country, our neighbors, who some of them are lacking in terms of medical potential, we see Uganda as a very big destination for medical tourism. Ours is just to polish and fine-tune it, and it's good the Minister of Finance is here. Once he gives us the resources, we should be able to be a very big destination. No more going to Aga Khan, Nairobi. We should be able to keep all those foreign domestic dollars that are going out in Uganda. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimonges.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I read through the report from the minister and it is straightforward. However, we have a problem when it comes to the issue of fencing. To us, the people of Sabey, we are not welcoming the idea of fencing because our issue is different. He knows it. We have an issue with the boundary. We do not know the boundary between the people and the wildlife park. So, for us, we've been requesting and still requesting for resettlement. So that after resettlement, we come up with the permanent boundary, and that's when fencing can take on.
Honorable Kimonges, they will always first open the boundaries before they do the fencing to know where your land stops, where the animal land stops, and where your other land stops. So that will be the first thing. They will not just come and fence and put a fence on where it has not been demarcated. So that is a procedure.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
That's a procedure. But you need to find out which land belongs to the game park and which one belongs to the people. You open the boundaries before you do the what? The fencing. Honorable Minister, I am not going to give you people to speak, all of you. This is a smaller paper. It is informative. Yes, let Honorable Minister, let him first respond.
Thank you, Right Honorable. Acrobat on the issue of compensation. I think we've been discussing this. I've been to your area. I've actually shared an approved list with you, just awaiting payment. But I think the issue is also delay in procedure, but these are government procedures before a payment is affected. But we understand the challenges, and we've argued that compensation cannot be the solution. We have to fence so that we resolve this issue once and for all. Honorable Kugonzo, on the issue of the black rhino, it is true, and we are in discussion with our neighbors, namely Kenya and South Africa. They've agreed to donate to us some black rhinos after our success story with the white rhinos. So soon we should be able to have black rhinos in the country, multiply them and reintroduce them into the wild. The issue of vermins usually is an issue we handle with the district. There are people we call the vermin control officers, and they know how to deal with these animals. But in a scenario where it's a big issue, we can come in And I have picked the area you've mentioned in Chibale. We can discuss more about this and see how we beef up the district team so that we resolve the vermin issue. It shouldn't be a big problem. Honorable Ayume, yes, on the issue of marketing. And I want to thank the government because there is an improvement in the tourism budgets now, even through Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and a couple of interventions to make sure that Uganda is showcased out there as indeed the Pearl of Africa. So these are efforts ongoing, and we'll continue coming to government and parliament requesting for more support, because marketing can only be spoken to in terms of the investment you put in. There is no rocket science to it. So we'll continue coming to you for support, but we'll also do what we can with the resources we have. And our figures are clear. Our numbers have been growing every year. The revenues we bring into this country have been growing every year. And I think this shows that some work is being done. And I agree, Uganda is well positioned for medical tourism. And then a couple of discussions that we're having with a number of investors actually who have showed interest. I think at an opportune time we would have this discussion. On the Mount Elgon issue, and we have been to cabinet, it's not only in Mount Elgon, there's an issue that was brought on this floor to do with Mba Tract, where we erroneously gazetted some land. But this is an issue of the law. The law did away with degazation in the act. And we are in cabinet, we are trying to see how we amend the act so that we resolve some of these conflicts, even around Elgon. There are actually some areas, because in Elgon, there is land that was encroached on a long time ago, and when we were redoing the boundary, we actually gave that land to the community. The only issue is now, we cannot legally degazette it until we amend the act, but the land is already for the community, we have no interest in it. So there are some issues we are handling with the Attorney General and the law so that we resolve the issues. But we'll, like the Speaker guided, we don't just implement a boundary without proper consultation with the community. So these shouldn't be worrying issues. I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
The only clarification I was seeking is in line with the Honorable Chemonge's submission and concern. Because we have a community that has been relocated to almost the center of Mount Elgon National Park, the Bennett. They are living inside there. So if you implemented this fancy initiative, I don't know where you would. There are 30 years they have been in there. You ought to visit them. And in Buruda equally, there is a similar population that has also been relocated to the park. And they have lived there for over 10 years. So these are the challenges that may make it extremely difficult for you to implement the fencing initiative.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, like I said, first of all, this issue is an issue being handled by the Prime Minister's office. I don't want to get into the details of what happened between me and you. We've been to Elgon, we know. Actually, the Bennett were resettled, land was given, but some people actually took the land away from the Bennett, and they did not benefit. It's a challenge we are dealing with. We still believe that there should be a provision for them. We know the affected communities. We know those that need to be we will see how we resolve the issue. It is, but we are in discussions. But Honorable, as a leader from Elgon, you should also know that we also have challenges with people that are consistently encroaching on the park. It is, but these are issues we are discussing, and we should be able to resolve.
Honorable Minister, mine is similar to the people of Elgon about the boundary. You realize that Pakwach is bordering the park, but there's a water body that separates them. Many times our people, our fishermen are arrested by rangers on the water, and there's no clear boundary. There's not even any effort by government to put a clear boundary as to where fishermen can stop. Right, Honorable Minister, as I speak, I shared with you already, since May this year, 2 of our people, Brian and Boniface, were arrested We have looked for them in all police cells, we can't find them. And yet they were arrested on the water while fishing by rangers. So we also need boundaries on water bodies that are bordering national parks, so that there's no, this time it's not even human-animal conflict, but human-to-human conflict. I thank you.
Thank you, Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, first of all, within the Uganda Wildlife Act, access to resources within the park is allowed. How we do it is the issue, and usually we will do it with the supervision of maybe OWA and with the management of the resources so that they are not depleted. Now, especially in our area, it's a case I need to maybe pick some more interest in and understand better, but usually what we always advise is that when someone is accessing a protected area, they should go through a gazetted point of entry with the proper acceptance from the OWA staff, so that we know what they are doing. Otherwise, if they just enter from any part, then you'll somehow you'll have some poachers get into the park and actually do something else. But it's an issue we can discuss. Fishing should not be stopped as long as we do it in a regulated manner and we know who is in the park and for what reason. Thank you, Right Honorable. But I'm going to follow up on the matter of the, you've just raised it with me. We shall see how we conclude the matter. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Honourable members, as I said before, this report is informative. And therefore, you may need to get a copy from the library. But also, Honourable Minister, you need to have time and meet members who are coming from those areas. Get time so that you hear their problems and see how you can be able to resolve them. Some of them you can resolve them without coming to the house. So have time with them. Yes, Honorable Atkins.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. On Thursday, September 4th, 2025, you directed the Minister Chris Wariomusi, to follow up on the disaster waiting to happen at the RDC's compound. As I speak right now, Madam Speaker, I can see all over the Kasese WhatsApp messaging groups, tear gas and live bullets, your fellow citizens being forcefully evicted out of the camp. And yet, this very parliament, in that constitutional chair, Madam Speaker, you directed government to make an undertaking. And I'm meant to understand, at least from what our Minister Wariomusi committed himself to table the same matter and bring it to the attention of Cabinet this Monday. Madam Speaker, I want to know, are we in this very house declaring that the RDC is above the law? We can't reduce our constitutional power because everybody, all of us, are under the law. There's nobody above the law, including the RDC. I don't want to believe that this parliament is ready to cede its constitutional power. Madam Speaker, that is a constitutional seat you directed. At this point in time, I was not expecting the RDC to go ahead and use violence and terror on law-abiding and peace-loving citizens.
So what is the procedural issue?
The procedural matter, Madam Speaker, is government committed that they will ensure that this matter is comprehensively brought to the attention of the President, this very cabinet, this week. And I don't know whether the Prime Minister who is in the House.
No, but the time to discuss that is over. You came late, my brother. You came late.
I didn't come late, Madam Speaker. I didn't come late. I've been in the house.
No.
I've been in the house, Madam
I
Speaker.
know everybody who is in the house, Honorable Atkins. You came when we were already on debate on other matters. So let's handle that tomorrow. Come early and you raise that issue. Please. It is a concern to all of us. But when you come in the middle of business, then you really distort whatever is happening. And I hope the Hansard people will remove whatever distortions that are in between there. So come early tomorrow, Honorable Prime Minister, be ready to respond to whatever he's saying after my communication.
Speaker, between
So-
now, what happens and tomorrow?
Honorable Atkins, that is going to be handled. Just give all the details to the Prime Minister and we sort that out. Let's give the details.
Right, the details right now, Madam.
No. You go and come and give her the details.
Much obliged, Right Honorable Speaker.
Please come and give her the details so that she will come back and respond.
Can I?
They will not give you to speak if I have not given you, Honorable Atkins. No. Next item.
Item 5 on the order
You
paper.
can't cross the floor. You give the message to Sarah. Next item.
Item 5 on the order paper. Motion for a resolution of Parliament to authorize government to borrow up to United States dollars 20 million from the Arab Bank for Economic Development of Africa, BADEA, to finance the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bugiri General Hospital.
Honourable members, Article 159(2) of the Constitution requires parliamentary approval for any government borrowing. And on 5th June 2025, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development tabled to this House a request of borrowing and was duly referred to the Committee of National Economy. And pursuant to Rule 59 of Rules of Procedure, I will invite the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development to move a motion for the approval of the House. Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, pursuant to Article 159(2) of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, Section 34 of the Public Finance Management Act 2015 as amended, and Rule 162 of the Rules of Procedure, I beg to move a motion for a resolution of Parliament to approve the proposal by Uganda government to borrow up to $20 million from the Arab Bank for Economic Development, BADEA, to finance the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bugiri General Hospital. I beg to move, Right Honorable Speaker.
Seconded by Honorable Sumani, Mouma, Robert, Nekesa. Honorable Honorable Chon, Public Service, Luka, Honorable Minister of Ravirama, Taka, Chemongesi, Singiro, Basil, Grania, Emily, Akiki, Stephen, Avuru, David, Akifensa, Ayume, Josephine, until now I'm not seeing Honorable Atkins and the Prime Minister. Go and sort out your issues. Yes, Veronica, Nifa, Brenda, Elijah, Bududa, JB, Dr. Pea, Aguti, Helen, and Palisa. Speak to your motion.
Madam Speaker, the main goal of the project is to attain a good standard of health for all people in Uganda in order to promote health and productive life. The proposed project aims in general to contribute to the achievements of goal number 3 of the Sustainable Development Goals in the field of good health and well-being, as well as goal number 1 to eradicate poverty to achieve a broad health coverage for the poor, in addition to goal number 3 of the Africa's Agenda 2023 on health and well-fed citizens. The project also aims in particular to support government's policy to 1, expand and upgrade medical services coverage. 2, obtain economic and social benefits for patients, employees, business, health and economy sectors. And 3, contribute to strengthening of the health system and its support mechanisms with a focus on primary health care to achieve a comprehensive health coverage by improving jobs and adequate health infrastructure and logistics at the general hospitals. The project has got 3 main components. 1 is on infrastructure, where we shall do the following: infrastructure development and improvement. This will target the refurbishment of the hospital to include overhauling of all existing buildings, power and water supply, and external works, giving all existing buildings a new look, and constructing new buildings to create new specialist clinics, increase the ward capacity, establish a functional accident and emergency unit, given that the hospital is on the main highway. Component 2, procurement, supply and installation of assorted medical equipment, hospital furniture and transport equipment, according to the medical equipment standard list approved by the National Advisory Committee on Medical Equipment. Component 3 is project management, monitoring, evaluation and supervision. This component will support the Ministry of Health to carry out regular project management, monitoring, supervision, and evaluation activities to ensure the project is on track, facilitate enforcement of minimum service standards, support partnerships and stakeholder engagements, compensation of project supervising consultants, project implementation unit, and political oversight of the project. I now come to the financing arrangements. The total project cost is $23 million, of which $20 million, 87% of the project cost will be funded by the loan from Badea. The remaining 13% of the total cost, amounting to $3 million will be funded by government of Uganda. The financing terms, loan amount is $20 million. Maturity period is 20 years, including a grace period of 5 years, and the interest rate is 2% per annum on the principal amount of the loan withdrawn and outstanding from time to time. The expected benefits are the following. 1, this intervention will increase the bed capacity of the hospital from 100 bed to 250 bed hospital, and it will be upgraded to a regional referral hospital. I thought Honorable Vasaligo and Agnes would appreciate this strongly. Thank you. 2, increase the staff accommodation from 83 units to 115. Thank you. 3, improve the utilization of the hospital due to improved delivery of health services. And 4, increased life expectancy as a result of increased deliveries in health units, reduced maternal mortality, reduced infant mortality, and reduced fertility of accident cases. Madam Speaker, with this justification, I submit the loan to the House for consideration and approval.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. And we now want to invite the chairperson, pursuant to Rule 162, 4 of the Rules of Procedure, to give us a summary of the recommendations.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Colleagues, honorable members of Parliament, may I beg to lay the report of the Committee on National Economy, on the request by government to borrow up to $20 million from the Arab Bank for Economic Development of Africa, BADEA, to finance the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bugiri General Hospital. I beg to lay. Right Honorable Speaker, the Minister has given the overall brief about the loan, and as a chair of the committee, I would want to say that this loan is highly concessional. It's meant to rehabilitate, expand, and equip Bugiri General Hospital. Right Honorable Speaker, you referred this loan to the Committee on National Economy, and the Committee on National Economy had an opportunity to interact with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development on this loan, the Ministry of Health, Planning and Economic Development, the local leaders from Bugiri General Hospital, and also the management of the hospital. Right Honorable Speaker, we saw really as a committee that the hospital is in a dire state, and it really requires a government intervention to refurbish it, remodel it to modern standards. The committee made a number of observations in line with our scrutiny. The Committee on National Economy made a number of observations and also recommendations. Observation number 1 is, Right Honorable Speaker, the Committee on National Economy, in line with the project impact on the health budget, the committee observed that the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bugiri General Hospital activities are not included in the financial year budget of 2025-2026 approved under vote number 014, Ministry of Health. In addition, the activities are also not included in the multi-year commitment of government plan. Right Honorable Speaker, we bring this so that in future, as we borrow, the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development should ensure that when they are bringing loans, the loans should be, they should be ready to handle these activities of them. The committee recommends that government should expedite the process of including the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bugiri General Hospital to form part of the multi-year commitment for the financial year 2025-2026 and the medium term. As a result, government should adjust the physical framework to include any costs associated with the financing modalities of the project for the financial year 2025, 2026, and the medium term. Government should scale up its commitment to increase the health sector financing if the project benefits are to be sustained beyond the project's life span by assuring that the recurrent costs due to the project are timely absorbed into the national budget. Building infrastructure of the old hospitals. The committee noted that through government has been able to construct some new health center 3s and health center 4s with a view of extending services nearer to the people and easing pressure on the major hospital. The renovation and rehabilitation of existing old facilities has lagged behind. The level of this dilapidation within Bugiri General Hospital and indeed other old health facilities, e.g. Abim Hospital and others, is still shocking. Most buildings need renovation, reconstruction, or extension. The committee recommends that government expedites the process of renovating all the remaining old health facilities in the country in light of the collapsed infrastructure systems in most of these old hospitals. Staff housing. The committee also observed the continued non-availability of adequate staff houses in health facilities. A majority of staff houses, for example in Bugiri Hospital, required renovation or are in a dilapidated state, are not fit for habitation. The lack of staff accommodation also has been cited as a major cause of failures to attract and retain staff, especially in rural-based health facilities. The committee recommends for the urgent need for government to provide a better accommodation facilities for medical workers at all health facilities. Inability for health facilities to provide accommodation for medical workers is of great concern, as it has highly contributed to the inability of local governments to attract and retain medical workers, even in the face of increased pay in form of additional allowances. Medical staffing levels. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee further observed that Bugiri General Hospital lacked some of the critical medical personnel. This was in conformity with the general case across all other general health facilities in the country, where most of the critical medical vacancies are not filled up, leading to high doctor-patient ratio. The committee recommends that the Ministry of Health, Public Service, and Bugiri local government should expedite the process of recruitment to fill vacant positions in the general hospital to reduce on the doctor-patient ratio. Right Honorable Speaker, there was also an increased mortality and efficiency. The committee observed that upgrading facilities and working conditions in Bugiri General Hospital is expected to sufficiently boost staff morale and operational efficiency, thereby enhancing the overall quality of healthcare delivery. Modernized work environments coupled with the state-of-the-art equipment and resources will create a more supportive and effective workplace for healthcare professionals. This improvement not only facilitates better performance, but also contributes to a more positive and productive atmosphere, benefiting both staff and patients. The committee recommends the following. To maximize these benefits, the Ministry of Health should continuously invest in comprehensive medical staff development and wellness programs. These programs often ongoing training, support career advancement, and promote overall well-being all of which are essential for maintaining high levels of medical staff satisfaction and productivity. By addressing both the physical and professional needs of the workforce, the project can foster a motivated and efficient team. This holistic approach not only improves workforce morale, but also translates into superior patient care and a more successful healthcare operation, ensuring that the hospital delivers optimum services to the communities. On management, the committee further observed that deterioration of the health service delivery in the country was also due to the leadership and management challenges in the health facilities. The leadership and management practices and management systems have had major negative impacts on the delivery of healthcare services. The committee recommends that Ministry of Health should devise innovative mechanisms of addressing leadership and management challenges in health facilities across the country, as hospital infrastructure improvement without good leadership and management in the health facilities will be a disaster and should be seriously addressed. On health service delivery improvement, the committee observed that the primary objective of the hospital expansion is to significantly enhance health care services and improve health outcomes for the community. This goal involves more than just upgrading medical facilities and services to ensure that these enhancements are utilized to their fullest potential. It is essential to implement robust strategies for informing and involving local stakeholders. The committee recommends that in order to maximize the benefits of this project, the Ministry of Health should provide clear and accessible information about the new services and facilities of the hospital upon completion of this project. This includes creating outreach programs to educate the communities about the improvements and facilitating easy access to the new resources. By actively engaging with residents, addressing their needs and concerns, and ensuring they are aware of the expanded healthcare options, the project can satisfy.
Chair, can you summarize your? This is a straightforward loan.
Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker. Let me go now to the piecemeal rehabilitation of general hospitals. Right Honorable Speaker, the committee noted with concern the piecemeal and ad hoc nature with which government was coming up with the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of general hospital. Yet many of the old general hospitals across the country were in their need for rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping, with the exception of a few general hospitals recently renovated, such as Kayunga, Kiriadongo, Yumbe, and Kaolo general hospitals. Government through the Ministry of Finance, government through the minister responsible for finance, intimated to the committee that it plans in the medium term to prioritize, among others, the construction and rehabilitation of more health infrastructure and the provision of medical equipment to improve quality of care and provision of specialized healthcare services. This includes, among others, completion and refurbishment and equipment of general hospitals that include Abim, Apach, Atutur, Bundibujo, Kiboga, Kagadi, Kitagata, Kitugum, Palesa, Itojo, Masindi. Members noted the need to come up with a project model funding targeting all old and dilapidated general hospitals for rehabilitation. It is recommended that government designs a comprehensive project model for the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of general hospitals across the country in a systematic way as opposed to carrying out piecemeal arrangements to match the current practices and technologies which were adopted in the new national standards designed for health center facilities 2012. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the committee has noted the government efforts to address health systems bottlenecks and improve effectiveness of the health sector. This project aims to enhance the quality of care in Bugiri General Hospitals by upgrading and equipping it with the modern medical equipment and facilities, thereby improving patient outcomes and overall healthcare delivery. Additionally, improved facilities and working conditions will boost staff morale and efficiency, aiding in the retention of skilled healthcare professionals. Right Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, the committee therefore supports and recommends to this House to approve the government request to borrow up to $20 million from the Arab Bank for Economic Development of Africa to finance the rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping of Bugiri General Hospital. I beg to report.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair. And you've heard from the Chair, it is a straightforward request. There is a motion. There is a motion. There is a motion.
Right Honorable Speaker.
People from Kumi don't. Just
I want
a minute.
to thank you
Just
very
hold
much.
Hold on. In the public gallery this afternoon, we have teachers and pupils from Kisiek Junior School, from Kwen. You're most welcome, Kwen. They are represented by Honorable Chemonges William and Honorable Cherukut Rose Emma. Welcome, thank you for coming, but don't travel in the night back. Make sure our children are safe. Thank you for coming. Join me in welcoming our children from Queen. Honorable Asumani.
Right Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you so much. And I want to thank in a very special way the committee chairperson for a very good report, and the committee members, and the minister, my OB, and formerly a member of my political laboratory. I want to thank you so much. Right Honorable Speaker, this is the best loan that this House has really procured for Bugiri Hospital. Right Honorable Speaker, one time the former Prime Minister had a chop accident in Bugiri. I'm building the motion. In Bugiri. Professor Nsibambi was taken to Bugiri Hospital. He could not stay there for 3 minutes because of the condition of Bugiri Hospital. For 3 minutes. They had to call all tribes of ambulances from nearby and was taken to Kampala immediately. Former Prime Minister. At that time, he was Prime Minister. Right Honorable Speaker, Bugiri as a district and Bugiri General Hospital serves the neighboring districts, including people from Kenya, because we are
it is
almost
on a highway.
Yes, it's on the highway. People from DRC, from Tanzania, from all benefit from Bugiri Hospital. Right Honorable Speaker, yes, the trailer drivers from DRC, when they get accidents, Right Honorable Speaker, Bugiri serves all the neighboring districts, including Mayuge, where the Prime Minister comes from. They find their way in Bugiri Hospital. Therefore, I am glad, Right Honorable Speaker, that the government is also heeding my advice. When we passed the Anti-Homosexuality Act here, and the IMF and World Bank decided to cut funding, I did advise that we should seek for funding elsewhere. And I am glad that it is happening, and we are now in Arab Bank, although we are repairing our relationships with the World Bank and IMF. I am very grateful that you are doing so.
In light of the straightforward nature of this report and the excellent work done by the committee chairperson and the minister, I beg to move, Right Honourable Speaker, that this House unanimously, unequivocally adopts the report of the committee so that Bugiri Hospital gets the loan. I beg to move.
Seconded by the whole House. Anifa, Brenda, Veronica, Sailo, Acrobat, Helen, Nekesa, Honorable both of both, Luca, Achon, local government Prime Minister. I put a question that the House authorizes government to borrow up to USD 20 million from the Arab Bank for Economic Development of Africa, BADEA, to finance rehabilitation, expansion, and equipping Bugiri General Hospital. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. I'll direct the clerk to extract the resolution to the relevant authorities to enable timely execution. Thank you, members. Next item.
Item 6 on the order paper. Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee on Public Accounts, Local Government, on the annual report of the Auditor General to Parliament for the audit year ended 31st December 2024.
Honourable members, on 21st January 2025, the House received the reports of the Auditor General for audit year ended 31st December 2024. In furtherance to Article 163.3 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, the report was referred to the Public Accounts Committee to consider the parts of the report that related to the entities under their preview. And pursuant to Rule 188.6 of the Rules of Procedure, I will invite the chairperson of Public Accounts Committee, Local Government, to present his report. And remember, the whole of last week and this week, I have been telling LOP that all his reports must be presented this week. And I'm happy yesterday we received one report, a very big report from PAC, who did a very good job. We appreciated it. Today we have Honorable Gilbert Olanya, the local man from local. Honorable members, we want the report. Is the report uploaded?
Right, Honorable Speaker, I would like to beg for your indulgence. PAC local government, we completed our engagement with the entities. We engaged with all the municipal councils, all the city authorities, and all the districts in Uganda. We traversed from west, north, east, and central. Right Honourable Speaker, we are in the process of compiling the report. The report is quite big. We have 171 entities. And what we have completed is the executive summary, whereby we were looking at the cross-cutting issues. Upon completion of looking at the cross-cutting issues, like the PDM, road funds, and those ones, we were now in the process of going to specific district by district. That's why, Right Honourable Speaker, I requested you the other time that if you can give us more time, possibly by next week on Tuesday, all the report would be ready. I just beg you for your indulgence. But if it is allowed, we have the executive summary, which is ready, And I beg for your indulgence to guide the committee if you can present the executive summary, or if you can wait for all the report to be uploaded onto our system. I beg for your indulgence, right?
Thank you. Honorable members, for you to derive executive summary, there must be a report, not so. I need to be guided. Honorable Tororo and Tororo.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to appreciate the committee chair for informing us that actually they interfaced with all the entities. However, Right Honorable Speaker, for you to present the executive summary, you must actually present the detailed report. At least lay it there. Now, in the absence of that report, you cannot present the executive summary. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I want to propose that we could give them time, maybe tomorrow or next week, Tuesday.
Tomorrow we have COSASE, and my new these reports are time bound.
Yes.
And by the time you will set our program that this week we are finishing accountability reports, that means we have a calendar, parliamentary calendar.
Yeah, but Right Honorable Speaker, since work has been done, I think it would be important for us to receive those reports. If they can work overnight, Right Honorable Speaker, and tomorrow we consider the two accountability committees, so that we handle the next item. I see a bill on the order paper, and we conclude with that bill. That was really my contribution, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I wouldn't deviate much from
your woman. Your woman MP.
From my woman MP.
Your woman.
I know that she belongs somewhere else, and when Honorable Tushabe was asked, he feared to cross the floor, and I said, but he crossed a long time when he got Sarah this side. So this executive summary, like both the Honorable Lanya, a PhD holder, knows this very much. When you've done your research, these are specific points of the general overview of the main report. I'm even wondering how you've got an executive summary from where now? Because you needed to start the writing. You should be having at least a draft. And we must commend Park Central. They did a good job yesterday. And I think Lope.
At least clap for Lope.
So, but you see, you can't get it all right. On this one, you are not going to get a directive from the Speaker to ask us to clap for you. This one here, you should swallow it painfully and say you are not ready and the report is not there. Because the executive summary can only be appended to the general report, to the main report. And I know that Honorable Anya, if you could only reduce your trips to Agago where for land matters and concentrate on this report, you would conclude.
Honorable members, given that the committee is not able to report on the Auditor General's report, I want to invoke the rule on the precedent that was set in 2020 and put the question on the report of the Auditor General as referred to the committee. I now put a question that the annual report of the Auditor General to Parliament for the Auditor General for the audit year ended 31st December 2024 as referred to the Public Accounts Committee, Local Government, be adopted by this House. Those in favor stand, the contrary nay. The ayes have it. House adjourned to tomorrow.